rise with the sun. Let the mountain vein boil.
No touching. Glaze over.
Show no mercy. Citlali, each pop. Pyroclastic surge.
Incinerate. My name is Crytek and welcome to a Genshin video that I didn't think I'd make. I want to spread the word of this though. I don't know if anyone's even tried this. You've got to try this. It's insane. I know that everyone won't be able to have all the cards needed for this, but I still want to talk about this because I just tested it and I can't believe it. In this particular abyss, with the second side having the Papilla and then the Ion Blight Drake, if you were to do a team with Mavuika, Citlali, and Bennett with Citlali, it would usually not be able to help you out at the very end. But in this setup, you can have a bow character if you have Coco Goat. I know Diona exists, but for the sake of the video, I don't talk about her because even though you can make the team work with this, I don't know if you can get a 5-mil combo with that. If you don't have it, it can still work and function fine. But this weapon is actually insane with Mavuika. I should have known. I mean, I've tried it before, but I never actually tried this team format. This is definitely a team that if you have Ganyu and if you have Elegy lying around and you don't really use it that much and you like Mavuika and Melt and want to save Bennett for another side on the Abyss, this is a build you want to try. And that is what I'm about to share today. It is a 4-piece noblesse Ganyu build with an insane amount of ER, helps battering my Citlali, and yeah, my teams are all C0 and whatnot, yeah. Given I recorded this not even like maybe 3 days after the release of Mavuika and Citlali, some things have changed. And I've got some more talents worked on Mavuika, so the damage number may be a little different, but for the sake of the video, I got some other footage that I can share and show and digest the rotation I did that got the 5 melt combo. And it's quite interesting. I'm not no theory crafter, but I do like testing teams that, you know, give interesting results. And here's one of these things here. Because the Papilla is kind of annoying in the beginning with his mechanic that you have to deal with, I did my rotation wrong. It is what it is. Don't focus on that too much. This is an old clip that I had made.
Letting great things echo. This is long overdue. Just enough.
Get to work. Citlali, each papa. Burn it down. Wrath from the sky.
Did you notice how many melts we got after the initial burst hit when we were doing Mavuika's charge attack? If you counted, we got 5 if you were paying attention. And if you also notice, at the beginning of this video, the melt combo looks different. It's a very specific setup, and we also got 5 melts in that combo. You want to notice the difference? In this setup, I specifically use Shilna's burst after using her skill to fill up a little gap in between. I don't need to use Ganyu's skill, but I use the burst. Then I use Citlali to react to the power orb before it gets taken. Then we do her burst, and then everything else lines up after that. If you did it correctly, you should get 5 melts before the final hit, and you shouldn't melt the final hit. This specific rotation is very interesting because the other one, the other clip that I showed, we got 5 melts, but the final hit melted instead. The reason for this happening in the melt combo is because you can get interrupted. Yes, interrupted in the context that when you do your rotation, if you do it a little too fast or if the enemy moves around a little too much, your melts might not line up correctly, and sometimes you won't get the final 2 hits in your charge attack combo to melt, you will only result in like the final hit in the charge attack combo melting, and then the final hit coming after that. So yeah, I just want to share this because the whole video, even though is about me saying you can replace Bennett for Ganyu in a Mavuika melt team if you want to use Bennett on another team, you can do that. But the Elegy Ganyu is really strong, but the rotation like this does not matter for the weapon itself. This is just for Ganyu's strength and what she can do for the team if you do the rotation correctly. A lot of time have passed, and this clip is recorded maybe a week after the last one, and I've upgraded Mavuika's talents a decent amount. So the one downside that the double crowd with Ganyu and Citlali is that your sec rotation might be tricky. You might have to like spend some time actually building up towards preparing your next rotation, because the crowd might actually just continue to be there just before you actually can use Mavuika to actually get rid of the cryo enough to start applying pyro in the scene so that Sheldon can shred it with the Cinder City set on. That's who I use Cinder City on, because in this team Citlali is on for base instructor and then throwing tips. Against an enemy with a hitbox like this boss here, or any small enemy, if you were to fight an entity that has a small hitbox and like big bosses, I've noticed that the melt can be inconsistent to get that 5th hit, and sometimes will result in only 4 melts, and sometimes it would only be like a few melts before the final hit, and the final hit would melt, but you wouldn't get like the 2 actual melts before that. It just lines up very strange with an enemy with a smaller hitbox. I don't know why. I've tested this a lot, and the results have been pretty consistent that I'm gonna get 4 melts on this boss or an enemy that has a small hitbox like this boss does. So yeah. So the exact same rotation, because the thing I didn't talk about is that Ganyu's skill actually does matter more than I thought in this scene. That time I got a 5 mil combo, so if you wait a little bit it can work, but sometimes it never always works and I don't know what to do about it. From what I've tested, it's mostly just against the enemy with like a smaller hitbox. Like I'll only average around 4 melts. Against a bigger boss, you're more than likely are going to get a rotation where her final hit, Mavuika's final hit, will be the one that melts. So if you do the rotation right and you melt every hit, and then leading up to the final hit in the charge attack before you do the big hit at the end will be what melts, instead of like the between the second to last one, the last one before the final hit. Anyways, all that explaining, I do want to mention something interesting that happened. I've had 2 different types of rotations, even though I did the same setup several times, where I've gotten a melt when it didn't get the consecutive melt after that. It could have been because of the way the actual gauges lined up, but from what it looked like, I don't know. It seemed fine to me, but at the same time I didn't get a melt when I was supposed to, and I would only melt 4 times in a rotation instead of 5. And it would be 2 separate times, one where I'd melt at the very end, and then one where I got 2 melts. But I think that was because of where the enemy was lined up with the bike, which is something I forgot to mention, specifically in the beginning clip. That was the biggest determining factor when getting that type of rotation that I showed. Is that final charge attack that you get at the end before she jumps off the bike and slams down. It's very important that if you can land that, it's nice to get that, but you won't melt the final hit. But more than not, it depends on the distance of where Mavuika is when she hits the enemy with that final hit to even get that melt. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. This is just a video to be like, hey, you should try Ganyu with Mavuika. If you do this kind of rotation, you could probably get something out of it. You don't exactly need Elegy to make it work. It's just to feel like it's not as bad of a downgrade from using Bennett, or not using Bennett with Mavuika specifically. This is the rotation that I showed, and I'm pretty sure there's a better on YouTube that can help you. But this is what I did, and this is what I've been doing, and this is what's been giving me the best results. And using Elegy with Mavuika, I'm getting some attack, and I'm getting the Bless giving me some more attack, and then getting some more EM for the melt side of things is pretty nice. And obviously, you don't need Ganyu to be able to produce a result of getting the attack on attack to EM. You can use Diona to get that, but I really want to preface that it's really nice that you can get this result with, Ganyu. And having an easier time getting more consistent melts if you do the rotation I showed. But this is with these characters. Obviously, if you tried to change some of the characters in the team, then it wouldn't really give you the best results. Which is, I'm not the channel to talk about what the downsides of Mavuika are, but I'm pretty sure you already know because all the other content creators have talked about it enough. We have a lot of downgrades and a lot of downsides to Mavuika, more so than other characters that have those downsides. So it is what it is. But if you enjoyed Mavuika, hope you enjoyed. Hope you nuke the like button, subscribe if you haven't to the channel, comment, subscribe, yeah, all that good stuff. And hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll catch you next time.